Greetings, family. Greetings, and welcome to the Omziel Healing Sanctuary. This is the art of rising. What we're doing here is we're giving you the codes that you may need in your daily life to help you out. Always rising. Codes are rising here. So I was part of the Purely Holistic Soul Expo that took place on February 9th. And I met a wonderful brother. We were in communications and I learned about a little bit what he's doing. And I find it so fascinating and extremely helpful for all humans. So just bring him on. Brother Albert Pierce, welcome to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, family. Thank you for having me.
Of course, brother. Of course. So let's just jump right into it, man. Let's see. What is it that you're offering in a nutshell to the general public?
What I'm offering in a nutshell to the general public are minerals in the form that most of us haven't experienced since we were in our mother's womb. What I'm talking about are mineral salts, or what we call crystalloid, not colloid. Let's start right there. Most of you might be familiar with colloidal silver, for example. Now, the difference between a colloid and a crystalloid is one, the colloid is still in a metallic form. You put it in water and it's suspended because of the like charges. So it's all positively charged and they just repel each other. And they stay in the water and they don't settle out, and you can't see them with the naked eye, but you can filter them out and you can see what they call a Tyndall effect. The Tyndall effect is you have this clear liquid that you think is a true solution, but it's actually a colloidal solution, and you shine a 4 angstrom with laser lights through it, and you'll see the sparkles because the particles are not small enough. Whereas if it's a crystalloid true solution, that means you can't separate it through filter paper. They are united on the atomic level, and you shine that same 4 angstrom. An angstrom is a measure of the size of atom.
Excuse
So
me.
you will
Sorry.
have 4 atoms with light. That's what we're talking about. So everything in a true solution is beyond uh, the size of 4 atoms. Now, when you're talking about colloid, you're talking about micron size. When you're talking about crystalloid, you're talking about angstrom size. Now, angstrom, let's start with the colloid. The colloid is 1 millionth of a meter. That's the particle size. And then you go up from going down rather in size from micron, you go to nano. Most people are familiar with nano. Everything's nano this, nano that. But nano is 1 billionth of a meter. Now, crystalloid is even smaller than nano. We're going down now to angstrom. Angstrom is 10 times smaller than the nano, or 1/10 billionth of a meter. So that's just to get you straight on the size and the form. Those are critical to how your body assimilates things. Your body is designed to take things out of the water. Now, another thing that people are not aware of, or most people aren't aware of, is we think we breathe air. We do not breathe air. Just like when you were in your mother's womb, you were breathing in these crystalloid, that solution, and that solution is called amniotic fluid. So the amniotic fluid that you're surrounded in, that you're supported in, that's giving you the warmth and that's allowing you to hear even better when you come out. When you come out of the womb, you have very good hearing in it because the water is a uh, amplifier and makes sound sharper. So the fetus or the embryo or the baby in there can hear everything that's going on. But anyway, when you're in there, you're you're breathing this water. Now, did you ever wonder what is the driving factor or nutrient or energy source that allows for that human being to develop from the spark of the sperm in the egg, and then 9 months later you got a full human being. It's the elements. There is no nutrient on the face of the earth that is more potent than the elements. Now you must say, oh, but Brother Pierce, what about the sun? What about the sun? These elements, these calciums and magnesiums and zincs, they're baby suns. The sun is what produced them. These elements aren't created on the earth. They're extracted from the earth is made of these things, but they're different form. So now, when the earth, through its geological processes, creates mineral salts. For example, if you've ever tasted your perspiration of your sweat, you know it tastes like salt because that's the form of the elements. So the same way they go in is the same way they come out. Because if they're not in the crystalline form, they can't come out. That's what gums you up. That's what causes plaque in the arteries. And that's what causes, jams you up. You don't get the right circulation. So these little baby suns are what you need. And you need them. We breathe oxygen that's dissolved in what I call the thin amniotic fluid. I call what you call atmosphere. That's a thin amniotic fluid. Now, take your hand, put it in front of your face, and breathe out diaphragmically, and you will feel the water coming out of your body. So just like the fish doesn't take in the water and break it down and atomically and separate the hydrogen from the oxygen molecule. Oh no, the fish breathes the dissolved oxygen that's in the water, just like we breathe the dissolved oxygen that's in the water that you call atmosphere and I call the thin amniotic fluid.
Fascinating.
So that's the basis of what I do, and that's the science. All this is science. This is not my opinion. This is how you were designed. And I'll add one little cherry. This all leads to this point. You can only be as healthy as your environment. That dictates how healthy you are. Full stop.
Love it. Love it. That's a huge one. That's a huge one right there, brother. That's a huge one. Yes. So these products that you're providing, right, they're come in a liquid form, right, for people to consume. Is that correct?
Yes, they're liquid, ionic, or crystalloid liquid ionic elements. Yes.
How do people take them? Like once a day, twice?
Sure. Well, I do consultations and things. And if you're reasonably healthy, there are a couple. Most people are calcium, magnesium deficient. Those are the two that most people go out of whack. Now the thing is with the calcium is the element that is used in the most biological processes of the body. That's the one the body needs, the building of the bones and the alkalization of the blood and the taking away of toxins. They call calcium like your garbage truck. So that is the first one to go out of whack. And calcium and magnesium are cofactors. So you want to keep the calcium and the magnesium. When you take those elements, you want to take them of equal parts. So if you're taking a teaspoon of calcium, take a teaspoon of magnesium. And so those are two that I highly recommend. And the other one we have is called SOIL. That's an acronym. It spells soil, and it stands for spectrums of invisible light. Now, what people don't understand, and I'm here to share this information with you, is that just like those little cards you carry in your pocket with like an ATM card or a debit card, it has some type of strip on the back, correct?
Correct.
They call it a magnetic strip. Now, sometimes it's silver, but most of them are black, right? So now, Brother Oscar, right?
Omar,
I'm sorry. So Brother Omar, if if I ask you to take that little card out and look on that black strip and read the information that's on that black strip, could you do it?
No.
Why? What's wrong with your eyes? You
I
know there's
cannot.
information on it. Why can't you read it?
There's plenty of information there. Yeah, I'm unable to. Yeah.
Okay, so the elements are the same way. You can't look at a bottle of calcium in the light or however and get the information out. But guess how it works. When these elements dissolved in your fluid or your water in your body, and they're going in and out of the cell across the cell membrane, it's just like you inserting that card into a card reader. So it is designed to read the information that is encoded in every element since it was made in the bowels of the suns. These suns are long eons gone that created this earth. So the minerals go in, or I like to call them electrolytes go in. Now, what most people don't understand, when you get down to the miniature, the size or number of things increases to a phenomenal degree. These things are so small that when I'm doing my research, it just blows my mind. There are millions and millions of these things going in and out of the cell every second. Millions. So, in my opinion, it's nothing but lightning going on, nothing but electricity. So these electrolytes have magnetism, they have electricity, they have vibration, they make visible light inside your body, and they contain information. So this is how this is what runs all your communication. You can't have any communication without these electrolytes. Your nerves won't fire. Matter of fact, there's a story online. I just refreshed my memory. I think it was in the in Philadelphia. They were running a show. Hold your pee to win a Wii. So it was a game that rewarded you if you who can drink the most water and hold it without going to the bathroom. One of the contestants died. They drank so much water. And I said, wait a minute. And I'm doing the research, and it says they died from water intoxication. Water intoxication? What the heck is that? So I researched water intoxication, and it made perfect sense. When you wash out your mineral salts, you can only wash the ones out that are dissolved in water. You can only wash the crystalloids out. You can't wash those heavy metals out. They're not coming out. You got to chelate them out. You got to drink this and do that and zeolite. No, that's how you get those out. But you can wash out your electrolytes that are water soluble. And so her heart stopped because she washed out the necessary elements to keep her heart beating. So this is a note of caution. Everybody's drinking water. Your body was not designed to drink what I call hungry water. What is hungry water? Hungry water is water devoid of elements. That's why you want a good spring water. Coconut water and things. That's good. Or Fuji water, something that has some sulfur, some magnesium, some kind of elements in it, some kind of mineral salts in it.
Or you can put those minerals inside the water.
Most
can
definitely.
you not?
Oh, most definitely. That's what the SOIL is for. My daughter puts a little teaspoon in her jug of water every day, and she goes out. So everybody drinking all this water, that could be part of our problem, because you're drinking these bottled waters. They got the nanoplastics.
Yeah, they got the nanoplastics. I know, but I also know that Dr. Sebi spoke against that as well too. Like we get our water from a water source that is through reverse osmosis, and he was stating like, no, that's not good water. It's stripping everything, and it strips you too.
That's right. No. That enhances or accelerates the aging and the degeneration, degenerative processes. Yeah. So these things, I'm telling you, once I found out about this, and then you study the womb and the amniotic fluid, and This is why, see my gray hair and everything? That's
Yeah.
because if I started taking more copper, that would help my hair. I've had people, hair start turning back black,
Mm,
from taking the copper and some of the other elements that we have. So everything on the outside, I mean, the good book showed us when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were captured, and
mhm,
Daniel didn't want to eat the king's food.
mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
he showed them, he says, okay, don't let me eat the king's food. And then look at me after it. He looked
Mhm.
better than everybody else. So
Right,
you can
right.
see the health status of a person on their body, their eyes, their
On the
skin, their
outside.
nails, their hair. There's a radiance, there's a frequency, there's a vibration. I mean, you can even get close. Sometimes you get bad quote vibes from somebody. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real
Right.
thing.
It's a real thing. Yes, yes, it's a real thing. And we feel it too. We feel it in our gut and things like that. Yeah, we do. It's the
You can
energy.
feel it and you can see it. And
Hmm. And
talking
you can
about
see it.
eating and drinking, you can taste it. You can taste it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also mentioned something about it creates actual light within your body, correct?
Oh yeah, the electrolytes. That's the only thing that brings light into your body. For example, there's
Hmm.
a YouTube video. Just type in zinc in the egg. I don't know how they did it. They got a picture of when the sperm, activates the egg. Fertilizes it. I guess you would call it.
Hmm.
Right at that moment when it's making entrance, there's a flash of light, a bright
Yeah.
white light, and then the egg shudders, and then a kaleidoscope of colors uh, envelops the egg, and then you get
Mm,
these cells that divide. This is a great segue to my next companion product to the minerals. See, there are three things that you need. You need the elements or electrolytes. You need them to be dissolved in the water, and then you need to wake up your dormant stem cells. Now, when that zinc hits that egg, those are stem cells that are activated. And
mm,
then
mm,
those stem cells are responsible to turn into any tissue, nerve, bone, muscle that your body needs. And every time one of these cells divides, there's light made. Every time it divides, there's a light, there's a light, there's a light. So now most of us have bios. We don't have cable anymore. We got bios. Bios is light.
mm,
Light.
mm, mm,
They
mm,
got these things. Listen, there's no machine created that's more perfectly functional than this human body, or
mhm,
complicated than this human body. And every
mhm.
machine that they ever made is made according to some aspect or some of the technology that they learn about by studying this body.
Mm, mm, mm. Fascinating. So here you are. You've come across this thing. I mean, was there a series of events, or was it some one deciding factor that you said, "Hey, I'm rediscovering some of this information, and I'm going to go forward and offer this to people with passion."
Well, I believe my steps are ordered, and in as much as my degree is in physical education from City College of New York, there in Convent Avenue in Harlem, New York, 1981. I got my physical education degree. I'm also a phys ed substitute. I mean, I have many different passions and ways to make money. I tell the young people, you have to have more than one hustle, because if something happens on one, you can go to the other. So I got about five hustles. I'm a fire investigator. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a substitute
Mhm.
teacher. And, I'm a lecturer. I'm a consultant. So you got to have all these different things. No. So what happened was, through a
Thank you.
friend of mine about, yeah, about the year 2000, I always was into health, you know, and I always took supplements and things. So I found out about these, and I start, the crystalloid form of minerals. to the manufacturer and the inventor. And I said, well, I sent the stuff to the laboratory because I said, man, this sounds like too good to be true. And then once I started studying, I started opening up some books. I said, wow, no, this is the thing. Matter of fact, there's a little booklet that was out at the time. This little booklet. Now you can't get it. It's out of print. But when you go to my website, you see I referenced this. I just recently got in touch with the author of this book, Dr. Howard Piper. And he has already created a second edition. So right up under here, you'll see second edition on the new one. I haven't printed it out yet, but it's ready to go. I'm working on the ISBN numbers and the barcodes and things like that. So it's going to be, and that book is going to be featuring my products. And it has 13 testimonies in there that will blow your mind. And hopefully I'll have it out ready for purchase, the hard copy, by the end of the month. So, so now I didn't know about this guy when I named the product Crystalloid. I was in business with a couple of other folks at the time, and we since parted our ways and dissolved that company. But I was looking around, and I called the person, Dr. Piper. I said, "Oh, hey, Doc, can I put my information in the book? Because I want to promote this." And he said, "Sure." And after a while, I was selling some of the books with my information until they weren't available anymore, and I lost contact with him for years. And guess what? As the Most High would have it, I'm also writing a book. So I wanted to have permission to put some excerpts from his original Crystalloid Electrolytes book in my book. So I was looking for him. I could not find this guy. I said, well, man, what happened to this guy? So I stopped looking for him, and I just went and started using the stuff anyway. I had the initial, okay from all those years ago. But anyway, one day, maybe a month or so ago, I got this strong urge. You're going to find this guy today. I said, what? You're going to find him today. I said, whoa. So I went back online and started doing my little searches. Sure enough, a guy called me back. I said, are you the guy that? He says, yes. I said, well, where are you? So he's living in Portugal now. And guess what he said to me? He says, I'm so proud. I'm so happy to find another person that's talking about these crystalloids. So we're working together. Matter of fact, we'll have him on the show one day if you want.
Yes, bring him through. Yes, give him my contact information. Yes, now me and you are attached by the hip now. So
yeah,
I love this the thing that you're doing, and so fascinating and interesting. I'm learning more just right now. Like you schooled me on so many things. It's quite fascinating. Do you have a shop, or is it online, or is it both?
No shop, just online.
Okay, so where can people find you? What is your web address?
It's the creatorsbreath.com. Thecreatorsbreath.com.
Breath.
Yeah, BREATH.
All right, let's see if we can get that up there here. There we go.
Yeah.
THE, right? The creators?
Yeah, thecreatorsbreath.com.
Creatorsbreath.com. I got it good. Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's where people can learn more about you and more about what it is that you're doing.
Yep. And you can call me too. 917-549-1114. Just say you were on your show and you get a discount.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, let's do that. Let them know the Art of Rising. Get that discount going. And how about you were at the Purely Holistic Soul Expo, and did you feel that people were levitating towards some of these things that you're offering?
Oh, almost definitely, because some of those folks also saw me at a prior event at Nicholas Books. So, I'm part of the family now. Now, listen, I got to give a big up to Hank Rising Sun. He's the one that got me off the couch and got me out here, because my whole thing for the past 25 years, I work with a clinical nutritionist, and we help the people that have certain problems, but only via referral. So someone we help tell someone, like a good movie, they had the Oscars last night. So now they're going to start all going out now because somebody said this is a good movie. So
Right.
somebody has to tell you that Brother
Mm.
Albert and Brother Dumari know what the hell they're doing. And you can go to them and they have non-drug solutions. Now, what I do is I create menus, dietary supplements. These products are considered dietary supplements. So a dietary supplement is considered food. So
Mm.
I don't write prescriptions. I don't write protocols. I give you a new menu. So you're going to be eating and drinking, and you're just going to add these supplements to your eating and your drinking. So
Mm.
depending on what your challenge is, I have different combinations and serving sizes of the various elements to give
Mm.
your body what it needs to heal itself.
Mm.
Nobody heals this body. This body
Mm.
is designed to utilize certain nutrients, in particular the crystalloid electrolyte. Listen, every breath you take should have elements in it. Every drink
Mm.
of water you drink should have elements in it. Every piece of
Mm.
food you eat should have elements in it. And when we were in a certain, I don't know if you're biblical folks or anything, but listen, there is some scientific evidence to support us being in a garden. And
Mhm.
in that garden, you have a certain temperature. Look at the folks that they're discovering in these forests. They just found some indigenous man, and he's half naked. Why? Because he's in an environment he don't need clothes. He's in about 78 degrees and whatever the relative humidity is, it's just perfect for him. And then all that green vegetation and all that good water and all that good air, and he don't have to worry about going to work and the alarm clock and all these things help you. I have a
Mhm.
theory that back in the day, the nutrient density of these things is what allowed us to live so long.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
I
we didn't
believe
have to
so.
eat that much. We didn't have to sleep that much, and so forth.
Right. I'm totally with you when you mentioned about the our environment, right? We're just a reflection of our environment. I believe that that's why humans we expire, rather quickly, and they would like it like that. They're creating these environments. They're pushing us in these environments. That way we can, we don't live so
Because
long. We don't get enlightened
somebody
in those type of things.
somebody's profiting on our at our expense, but we don't
Yeah.
wait. See, this little tongue gets in a lot of trouble. We
Yep.
just go, oh, it tastes good or it looks good, and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
when you're 50, 60 years old, you start paying the price. The
Right.
prostate
Right.
in men, the
Right.
uterus in women, you
Right.
know,
Right.
uh, those are the sensitive areas that once they start getting clogged with these nanoplastics and all
Mhm.
the different hundred there, every time you breathe a breath of air, there are hundreds
Mhm.
of chemicals in that breath. And you drink that
Mhm.
water, if you're not filtering it, there are
Mhm.
hundreds of chemicals. They call stuff now, brother, uh, Omar, they call it
Mhm.
forever chemicals.
Right, forever chemicals. That's what they're calling it now. Just can't
And
get rid of it.
the funeral directors, you know what they say?
Mm.
They said, man, we getting these bodies in here now. They come in pre-pickled. We don't even have to use embalming fluid on them anymore. They're just ready to go. That so you're saving them money. You're talking about. So if you're eating the processed food, you're processing yourself for the undertaker already. He's saving some
Wow.
money.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I know that's right. I seen some study where they were showing like a cheeseburger that sat on the shelf like for years, and for all intents and purposes, it looked just fine. Just it didn't get green, it didn't get moldy, and they didn't spray nothing on it. It's just it was already baked
Mhm.
into it right there. Just
Yeah.
crazy. So let me ask you this, brother. What is one of the misconceptions that people feel and express to you when they first, start speaking with you?
But when I break it down, they're pretty understanding, but
Mm.
they didn't know these things. See, you know that old saying, we perish for lack of knowledge.
Mhm.
And with this social media, it's sort of like a group thing. I call it like the Tower of Babel. That's what I call it. See,
Mm.
you had in the back of the day, and back in the day was the Tower of Babel, and the Most High confounded their languages, so they couldn't get together. See, once we marshal, or everybody can understand everybody, then the rate of learning and invention, it just goes off the chain. Now they got this AI stuff. That's because everybody is collaborating. You go online and speak any language. They got it right on your phone. I had a guy, he was looking for directions in my neighborhood. He was from a Spanish-speaking country. And brother, habla español. He just said, just talk. So he spoke to this phone, and the phone spoke back to me in English. And I spoke to the phone, and the phone spoke back to him. I said, well, that thing is good. It didn't have any mistakes. So when you got that type of communication, we're back to, remember, they were building this thing to go to God or whatever, to go to the sky. So these are the things that we can do when we're of one language. So we have one language now in the world. And that internet is the thing.
Yep, I believe
it's for good and for evil. You can't have one without the other.
No, you can't have one without the other.
One without the other.
It's a double-sided sword. Yeah, like this things that I do that have helped me in my life, but if you study them a little bit, they've harmed others too. You see?
Yeah.
So
what's good for one is sometimes bad for another, and that's the problem.
It depends on how we use it too.
Yeah, everybody believes something different. So
yeah,
I say, man, I believe left, and you say, no, I believe right. So how are we gonna come together? If there's no coming together, you believe right.
No,
I believe left.
No, that's where many of these religious institutions they go wrong. Like, okay, look, show me the facts and let's try to work with that, but don't tell me what things are and I'm supposed to be the way you're saying, and like you don't even see me if I don't see your way.
Exactly. My way or the highway, or I'm gonna harm you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the olive branch or
the
pistol.
Take you out.
Right.
That's right. Right. Yeah. So I just want to mention one other thing. So it's water. There are three things I mentioned. It's water. It's the multi minerals or mineral salts, and it's your stem cells. You have to keep your stem cells going. Now this is a little patch. I have one over here. This is a little patch that you put on your body, and I'll just get a new one. You put on your body, and it stimulates your dormant stem cells. It's a little patch like that. It stimulates your dormant stem cells. So this is your architect. These are your building materials, your mineral salts. This is the delivery system. So when you have those three things cooking, which should be in every breath of air, well, you should be taking these in all the time, because you only get a tiny bit. You just get little atoms of this stuff. So you got to keep it going in. We're getting tons of toxins, and we're not getting enough of this that can sort of counterbalance it. So we're way low on our intake of the elements, and most people don't drink enough water. And so your stem cells, they go down. They go to sleep. So you put this little patch on for 12 hours. You drink plenty of water with your electrolytes, and you give your body what it needs. When you're young, your stem cells are raging. You get hurt, boom, you heal real quick. You get tired, you're back ready to go. My grandson, I run him. 5 minutes later, I'm tired. He ready. Come on, Grandpa. Oh man, I can't run that fast no more. So you going? I'll be behind you. So, but they can boom, you just run full speed. 5 minutes later, full speed. We can't do that as we age and our hair gets gray and things like that. But what you can do is you can control the rate. You can control the rate. You can control what goes into your body to some extent. Okay, it's to count what we're doing now. We're trying to counter the negative environmental influences. The most potent way are these three elements.
Mm,
These three things I just told you. There's nothing in your body that supersedes these. This
mm,
is square one. This is square water,
mm,
electrolytes, and stem cells. That's how you started. And if you
mm,
want to stay healthy, you have to maintain that relationship or
mm,
that balance. It's really an imbalance. Listen, you must take in more than you need to
mm,
get what you need. Let me give you an
mm,
example. If
mm,
someone is has fallen out and they can't breathe, I have enough unexpelled oxygen in my exhalation. I still have a live oxygen, enough live oxygen to breathe into that person and bring them back. Is that correct?
mhm, mhm, mhm. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So then I must be taking in more than I need. Is that
Mm,
correct?
mm. Yes. If you
Okay.
yes.
So when you drink water, you pee. When you eat
Mhm,
food, you defecate.
mhm.
So you always got to take in more. You don't just take just enough and ain't nothing left.
Right.
No, you extract what you need, but there's always something left in your exhalation. And
Mm,
one thing, and they train fighter pilots to drink their pee if they fall
mhm,
out of the sky. They drink their
mm,
pee. Now, if you're
mhm,
healthy, your pee or your urine is is uh, is
mm,
uh, is sterile.
mm,
If you're healthy, your
mm,
pee is sterile. If you got
mm,
infection, then your pee got
mm,
infection.
mm,
And guess what? It
mm,
has elements in that pee. Oh, see, these folks, these are the little secrets to survival.
mm.
Yeah, that they teach,
No,
these
mhm.
things. I'm not telling anybody go start drinking their pee. I'm just trying to make
Right.
a, well, there's some people that said that's therapy, but
No,
that's not
yes, I
me.
do. I do. I have some people that I know, yes, and there's some science backing some of
Yes,
those things.
yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, I wouldn't if I don't
I'm,
have to, I
but
won't,
I'm
but
telling you what the
I don't
power
see.
in the pee is because
Yes.
that concentrates your electrolytes. Be clear.
Mm. Yes,
That's
yes.
concentrated
Let's
electrolytes.
let's
If
be
you're not
clear.
have a urinary tract infection or anything
Mhm.
going on, so you can do that.
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
brother, you've dropped so much science, man. I want to check back with you soon, maybe in a month or two, see where you're at, how things are growing. I'm looking at the website here, thecreatorsbreath.com, and it looks amazing. And we're gonna have to get into this. Me and you are getting much closer, man. Yeah, shout out to brother Hank, right, the
Yes, yes,
uprising,
yes,
big time. Thank you so much. I've been on his show as well, and he's helped me. People have
yes.
levitated to some of the things that we're doing too. We do men's retreats. We take men away into the forest, unplug them from
Nice,
the matrix, and we
nice.
do a deep dive into some of these things that they're walking around with.
Oh,
Let them
nice.
know you don't have to walk around with guilt and shame. You don't have
Amen.
to. No, you
Amen.
don't have to. Let go of that. You can't do nothing about, those things. And, it's a whole series of stuff. And we
Beautiful.
push people into the present moment. When you met me, as you can see, we do the ice plunge, which is another technique
Mm,
to push people
mm.
into the present moment. So we had maybe about a dozen people get into the
Nice,
water that day
nice.
while you were back in the
Yeah,
hallway. I was in the
yeah.
bigger section there. Guys were getting in the
No,
water, man. It
I
was
saw Dr. Mission. He took the plunge. Yeah, he was
He
telling me.
did. He took the plunge. That's right. Yeah.
Dr. Mission. See, that's not the real Dr. Mission. That's Dr.
Mm,
Mission's son. See,
okay.
I met the real Dr. Mission. He lives right in my neighborhood.
Mm,
And as fate would have it, he was looking for me, and well, I knew where he lived, but I didn't.
mm,
And one day last week, I was walking in the park. I saw both of them, and I
mm,
haven't seen him since maybe 2001. And we
mm.
live in the same neighborhood, maybe 5 blocks away.
Wow.
So he
Love thy
came over,
neighbor. Love thy
and
neighbor. Go ahead.
we back together now, Dr.
Well,
Mission.
that's beautiful.
His father's name is
Yeah.
Tony. Yeah.
Okay. I love the product. It was the first time I had done it. We did an energetic exchange, and yeah, went through the bottle. Loved it. Loved it. I love
Oh, bless you.
what
Thank
it's
you.
doing to me, clean me out, like
Thank you.
beautiful. So I'm in connection with him. I'm going to get him on the show as well. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of time. We've been texting back and forward. We have to just set up the schedule because he has a fascinating story. And now you're telling me about his dad. And I'm looking forward to learning more about those things.
yeah, yeah. He's Dr. Mission Jr. I know Dr. Mission Senior.
Right, right.
Matter of fact,
Good
I met
stuff.
him. I met the current Dr. Mission when he was a kid.
Wow, wow. Just beautiful stuff that they're doing, enlightening the people, to make people enlightened, right? Because
Oh no, no. Listen, you
enlightened
can't.
just means, go ahead.
Yeah, you can't do anything without your gut being right.
Mm.
The gut, if it's not right, it pollutes or poisons the whole body.
Right, right, right. We talked about that, the energy, right? We feel it in the gut. Like when you walk into a
Oh
room,
yeah,
you go, oh,
oh yeah,
I
oh
shouldn't
yeah.
be here. Something's up. I could, how do you know? I feel it right here in my gut, like right
Let
there.
me
Just,
drop
just
one more nugget for you before you
please
go.
do. Please do.
One more nugget. One nugget. You know, there's DNA, right?
Yes.
We have DNA. Do you
Yes,
know
we
your
do.
body has two kinds of DNA?
Huh? No, I had no idea.
Oh, you have the blood DNA, then you have mitochondrial DNA. Did you ever hear
Mm,
that?
yes. Mm,
Okay. So if something has a different DNA, would you consider it the same person or a different life form?
different. Mm,
Okay. So that's the nugget. Your
mm,
mitochondria is a different life. And this is my opinion.
mm,
Because it has different DNA, it's a different life form than the host that it's living in. I'll just
mm.
let it hang on that until next
Yes.
time.
Thank you so much. I'm of the same mind too. Trust me. I've got some of these ideas and then people are not talking about it, but I'm with you. But thank you so much for being on the show. We went over a little bit of time, but I thought it was necessary since I met you and some of the things that you're doing, man. I was like, wow, people need to know about this. So thank you
Thank you.
for the opportunity for coming on the show and sharing the knowledge, man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we want to check back with you soon. Let
Anytime.
find out where you're at and probably some more details too. I'm gonna leave all that information in the show notes. That way, people can reach out to you and see what you're all about, brother.
Yeah, my number is 917-549-1114. You can call me anytime. 917-549-1114. Peace.
Okay, will do. Thank you, brother. Stay backstage just for a moment. I want to close up. I want to keep talking to you.
All righty.
Okay. There you have it, guys. Fascinating information. I mean, necessary in my opinion. Sometimes we get information and you could have it and you could use it or you could not. It's okay. But this one here, I think we need to sit up and pay attention, see what's going on here.